Don't say a word. I can see from just looking at you exactly what you need.
What are you looking for around here? Punch in the head? I wouldn't wander around here like that if I were you, but you're right. Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for feck's sake.
Come on, you get me and my sister together. She's already cold, though. Now, if it isn't the strapping lad from the refugee camp, wanna show me your mark?
Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for feck's sake.
Come on, you get me and my sister together. She's already cold, though. Looking for a bit of fun.
Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for feck's sake. Nice weather today, isn't it? How may I help you? Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for feck's sake. Better to keep your head down. Here, you can have a knife across your throat faster than you can say for feck's sake.
Hi there, sweetie. More customers today.
Forgive me, darling, but the brothel is closed today.
Closed.
The girls have their day off today.
I have a message for Tiakranor.
Message? Kind of message?
I can only explain it to him personally. Where is he?
I don't know. You should go now. Please be so kind as to leave the brothel.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to leave until I've spoken to Tiakranor.
Who sent you? Was it Folk?
Absolutely. His Grace is very angry about the conditions in this house.
But he was only here yesterday.
And he has decreed that your dissolute ways will no longer be tolerated. You are to put your affairs in order immediately.
Then you must help me. I beg you. I beg you. Tiakranor's gone mad. He wants to send all the girls to the Dark Mother.
He wants to kill them? Why?
He wants to turn them into the undead. He says it will be cheaper and better for business.
Well, that really does sound insane.
It's because of the plague and contagion and some special requests. Please, please hurry!
You mentioned the Dark Mother. What exactly did you mean?
You don't know the Dark Mother, sir? She is the mother of the family beyond. Her husband is the fiery father. And then there's the seeing son and the deep daughter too, but we have to keep that quiet, right? Tiakranor says, thanks to the Dark Mother, death is no longer a limit, but only a threshold, and many new challenges await those who died in the afterlife.
Uh-huh. What was Folk of Aravor doing in the brothel?
He and Tiakranor seem to get along well. They're sort of friends.
Then Aravor supports Tiakranor's intention to turn all the girls into undead?
I don't know, but the other day, a girl who talked a little too much died. Falk doesn't want his name mentioned. Yes, the Lord of Aravor is simply a little more modest than other Rondrians. They never come here otherwise.
Why haven't you told anyone? Half Warunk would give anything for this brothel.
To whom? The Kreutzer Cartel is still only interested in profit. Chiakranor's new business idea would suit them just fine. The Guard isn't represented strongly enough in Kreutzer Alley and they demand proof before they do anything. And if the Rondrians find out, they'll hang us all.
I thought heretics were burnt, not hung.
It used to be that way. Nowadays the firewood is used for construction.
Explain to me again why Chiakranor wants to turn the girls into undead.
It was the plague. Before the Exodus, many of the men who came to us were already ill. They wanted to enjoy their last days. But that also infected many of the girls. Chiakranor eventually started resurrecting the dead girls in order to protect the living.
And you were probably happy to help whenever customers wanted to have special wishes fulfilled.
No, it wasn't like that. These people always just came to look. Chiakranor told me that he only resurrects the girls as a reminder of life under the necromancers.
And you believed every word, of course.
What could I do? I was afraid.
Enough. Where's Chiakranor?
Use the door. Hurry, please.
Ah, Chiron, welcome. I was told that you were coming.
Who told you?
Your patron, Folk of Arivor. He said that you're interested in sowing a few wild oats.
Oh, really?
Don't worry, I have a number of the most willing girls for you to choose from.
What has Folk told you of my wishes?
You shall receive whatever you crave. You can have any number of girls if you so desire. You can return them when and in whatever condition you wish, Mr. Chiron.
How generous.
I have always found Folk of Arivor to be generous. A fine man, and the only Rondrian to frequently honor my house. But be so good as to not mention anything about my new business idea to him. I would rather tell him in person.
I heard you have a new business idea.
Well, it's not really a new business idea. When the necromancers ruled here, there were brothels like mine everywhere. If you will, I'm just reviving an old tradition. And as you see, I do pretty well.
You certainly do. What about your girls?
The girls are grateful to my people and me for helping them cross over to the Dark Mother. They have nothing but benefits from it. You look at these beautiful creatures, my masterpieces, tireless, invulnerable, and immune to all disease. Do you find the girls delightful too?
No, not really. The Exodus seems to have been good for your business.
Actually, I had nothing to do with it. It just so happened that Gammat was encouraged to lead the sick forth at a certain point. Folk said it would be better for both me and my business if the patients were not infecting my girls anymore. That was very considerate, but no longer really necessary. My people had already enabled the first to cross over to the Dark Mother.
Folk ordered Gammat to lead the exodus of the sick out of the refugee camp.
You would have to ask His Grace of Arivor himself, for he knows Gammat far better than I.
Enough! I'm not here for sex.
You're not? But I was told you were coming.
I don't give a damn what Folk of Arivor told you.
Who the Nameless sent you here?
I am here on behalf of Perel Notgelf. Either you give the Kreutzer Cartel what's theirs, or you can get yourself a new face.
You can't touch me. I'm under Folk of Arivor's protection.
I will go when I'm done, and your people are not going to harm these girls.
You cannot stop me, Karen. First, the girls will go to the Dark Mother, and then so will you. Men, let the transition begin!
I had to take drastic measures.
Maybe Chakranor will like it with the Dark Mother. In any case, thanks for the help. Please check up on my girls. Maybe you can even save some of them from crossing over. I cannot thank you enough.
Yes, sure.
Oh well, there's a bit of work needs doing now. Someone will have to run the Thorned Rose.
I guess you have the most experience at doing so.
You will know that both the City Guard and the Kreutzer Cartel have an eye on this house.
You'll have to choose one side or the other.
Yes, that would probably be best. It would be good if we were protected and wouldn't have to take too much of your time.
So, who do you choose?
Ugh, decisions. I'm terrible at making decisions. I want you to decide for me. Here, take the deed. Give it to our new protectors.
I think I'm going to report Falk's contact with Chakranor to his superiors.
Are you a Warunkian citizen then?
Not yet.
Then no one will believe you. And the Rondrian Metropolitan Yarkon isn't in the city right now. That means you would have to turn Falk in to himself. That might be a bit difficult, don't you think?
What if the City Guard were to protect you and gain more power in Kreutzer Alley?
Well, prostitution isn't forbidden in Warunk. We could just keep the business going. We used to often have problems with people stiffing their bills and we never had anyone we could complain to about it. That would change. Maybe we could even start a guild at some point. On the other hand, Fergalosh is extremely fervent. Many customers would go elsewhere for their enjoyment, and we would have to go hungry sometimes.
Why's that?
When you get to know a man, you have to find out what he is used to. With the guard watching us, we couldn't offer our customers everything they're accustomed to.
You can't seriously want to serve those habits again.
They're just little things, my friend, with underwear, without, things like that, guaranteed. But our neighbours won't be happy to see the guard coming and going all the time. Kreutzer Alley is still cartel territory.
What would happen if I were to choose the Kreutzer cartel?
Perel would gain more power in Warunk and would do good business with us. The girls could decide for themselves whether they want to work alongside the undead, but I can also imagine that the cartel wouldn't be too gentle with them.
What do you mean?
I know their kind. They would beat the girls just to demonstrate their strength. If they were out of the way, though, we could do what we want. In the end, it would certainly be good for business. And with the cartel controlling the smuggling, we would finally be able to eat properly again.
I think I know who I'll give the deed to.
Well, if that isn't timing, we have visitors.
Perel Notgelf, as if called.
I thought I'd drop by. Is there something new to report?
The rumours were true. Chiakranor was having the girls killed and then raising them again as undead.
Hard to believe such audacity! To want to smuggle such a huge profit past the cartel. I hope the fella is now out of the way.
Chiakranor is dead, and Dolorosa will now take over as manager of the Thorned Rose.
Before anything happens here, Perel, hold your evil tongue. I hear there have been deaths here. That makes this a matter for the city guard.
Vergalosh, old friend, the matter is already settled. As the whorehouse's new owner, I must unfortunately ask the city guards to leave my property.
Kabaskan Draxon! We have a truce. And as to whether or not you really are the new pimp in this hole, well, that's still to be decided.
Maybe the gentleman would like to allow my guest to get a word in. That will certainly help to clear matters up.
It's true. One of you will be taking the brothel under his protection in the future.
You don't really believe that the Kreutzer cartel will give a single foot of ground in this matter?
I hope you've thought it through carefully, lad. If you choose wrong, there will be war.
I want Perel and his men to take care of the brothel. The whores shouldn't have to starve.
Dragon, take you human! This whoremonger will only make things worse here.
And they won't. Worthy Chiron, that was a wise decision. You won't come out of this empty-handed.
You want war? You can have it. Hoshari Warham, you rotten scum!
Dolorosa was content. In the end, the Kreutzer cartel had finally proven able to protect the Thorned Rose from the authorities. The necromantic machinations of old now finally came to an end. Although Perel's people often resorted to blows to ensure their charge's obedience, at least the whores no longer had to go hungry, and they sometimes even received gifts smuggled in by the cartel. Calandra's groom was never seen there again. Most denounced the rumors of Falk's inclinations as offensive and implausible. At least they did whenever strangers were listening. Last, but not least, Perel's truce with the guard was now broken. The Kreutzer cartel began to prepare for a major confrontation, another opportunity for Chiron to make a name for himself in Warunk.
looking for?
Punch in the head.
Don't be like that. I still need at least 2.
What are you looking for round here? Punch in the head. Piss off, and no stupid looks neither. Piss off, and no stupid looks neither.
Greetings, my friend. Thanks again for your help with the Thorned Rose. And that, my friend, brings me to my next offer. A most lucrative assignment beckons.
What is this assignment?
The guard will escort a magician named Fyodor Briganti to lock him up in their headquarters. Up until now, he has only been under house arrest at his home in Kreutzer Alley. That meant we had access to the learned gentleman. We cannot allow that to change.
What's so important about this mage? Do you need him for the fight against the guards?
He's a free spirit with a wealth of knowledge about many areas of mysticism and magic. In these times, a very valuable treasure indeed. The guard may not be giving us any trouble at the moment, but we must be prepared for anything. Then, too, my horoscope says that I should surround myself with wise men. While that is always useful, perhaps it's especially important right now. So, Chiron, my friend, get me Fyodor and you shall receive an appropriate reward.
Folk of Aravor is involved in some dirty business that a normal Rondrian could never countenance. How can I ensure that he's toppled from his throne? Will you help me, Perel?
Chiron, my respect. You're playing for high stakes indeed, and your game is called Win or Hang.
Falk will never marry my sister. I'm gonna find evidence that he's deceiving his order. Then he must fall.
Evidence? Evidence is the last thing you need, my friend. Before you try to move against Falk, you will need citizenship in Warunk. Only then will anyone believe you. I checked with all my informants. There is no evidence against Falk.
If I accept the assignment, can you get me citizenship?
I could put in a good word for you with Margrave Sumadan of Bregelsaum.
The Margrave takes the Kreutzer cartel's wishes into consideration?
My people play an important role in supplying the city. Margrave Sumadan knows that he needs the cartel. Furthermore, it can't really be in his interest if I were to do business with foreigners. That would be like smuggling.
Why is this Fyodor under house arrest? What has the guard accused him of?
He was charged with free thinking. He was arrested after a public dispute. Just wanted to get his ideas across.
Whatever for?
The Rondrians punish freedom of expression strictly, but the guard had arrested Fyodor before the Rondrians even got there. Useful idiots, my friend, locking such a valuable man up in a house which just happens to be in my Kreutzer Alley. You could say we had a bit of luck. And Fyodor was lucky too. Normally, people are hanged for heresy.
Exactly what part of Fyodor's knowledge is so important?
You could say it's a matter of principle. The Rondrians forbid free thought because they believe it leads to people being seduced into pacts with demons. They call people like Theodore heretics and overlook the fact that the world cannot be divided simply into good and evil. Now, one can say that we must protect our people from demonic temptation, but I believe that everyone should decide for himself about his soul, and if he wants to be a servant of demons, so be it. I would almost say that I feel a sort of spiritual kinship with Theodore. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
All right, Perel. I'll take your assignment.
Good. Go to the middle of Kreutzer Alley, eliminate the guards, and bring Theodore to my people. You'll have to do it on your own. I also can't leave anyone to watch you. Everything is based on trust. And in the meantime, I'll pull a few strings. My people do not need permits. They're decent Warunkian citizens. You see, my friend? Oh, wait a minute. Something I wanted to ask you last time. Have we met before?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe you just remind me of someone. See you later, then.
My daughter's on about...
Here, people of Wadham, the penalty for fornication with the undead is death through being buried alive. But by the divine lioness, far worse are the eternal torments in the hells which await every desecrator of corpses. Beware, you who do not wish to cease your unholy amusements. The day of the dragon is over. Repent, or feel the church's sharp sword.
Do you even know which end of a sword to hold? Back again? So tell me, how many monsters have you killed with my steel so far?
Those Rondrians. Finally someone's cracking down around here.
People of Warung, be reminded that every death must be reported to the Metropolitan. Are over. Mistress Rondra, be praised.
Piss off, and no stupid looks neither. You should put your money pouch in your shirt. No need to make it easy for the cartel.
Hi there, sweetie.
You should put your money pouch in your
Don't be like that. I still need
Theodore,
at least 2 more customers
the proper
today.
salutation is learned scholar Mr. Brigante, or at least Lord Magus. Who are you anyway?
What does it look like? The Kreutzer cartel has sent me to bring you to a safe place. Learned scholar Mr. Magus.
The Kreutzer cartel? Interesting.
Don't be like that.
Well, I
still need at least
voluntarily
2 more
entered house
customers
arrest,
today.
and I will voluntarily comply with your request, not just because you wish me to.
Do you really think the guard picked you just for the fun of it? The truce with the guard has been broken. The Kreutzer cartel sent me to bring you to safety.
The only security risk here is obviously you, yourself, good man. Without your intervention, I could have just as easily remained in the custody of the city guard.
Is that what you want, then?
Well, in truth, I'm still undecided, as it were.
Might I learn a little more about you, Magus?
Magus probatus sum. I am Fyodor Brigante, Adeptus Major member of the Great Grey Guild of the Spirit, a graduate of the School of Spiritual Travel in Belhanka.
So only a heretic, and not a necromancer.
Are you trying to insult me?
Come on.
There
you
are
and me and the
significant
sister
differences
together.
between an
Till the
educated
whole
grey
thing.
mage and a simple necromancer. Necromancers! Better yet, those who pact with demons. People like that just toss their souls into the same cesspit that is home to the demonic TGT. My soul belongs to me alone and nobody else. And if there were more public education, more people would come to this simple conclusion. By the way, if you were better educated, you would never have asked this question in the first place, my good man.
I have a question about a magical phenomenon. Maybe you could help me.
Come on.
Of course, Mandus is with the Inquisitive.
I've never had a hint of magic in me all my life, and now suddenly something has awakened within me.
Intuitive, elemental, or demonic? I mean, maybe you're possessed.
It had something to do with the mixing of blood. It feels like I were using other people's life force to do magic.
Borberadian? And you claim you knew nothing about it? Don't act like a fool, man.
I'm not a Borberadian. I never learned to use blood to do magic. It just happened.
Look, this is completely implausible. Borberadian magic requires years of practice and a sound education. This gift can't have just come to you out of the blue. It could have come from the Nether Hells, but that would have required truly potent demonic activity.
It wasn't like that. I never sold my soul.
Very reasonable.
Can't you help me at all?
You seem to have a very powerful patron who is not too particular in his morality. He will likely know more. Or the outbreak of the gift was an accident. Then you just have to live with that power and hope that you die before anyone can claim your soul in return.
What do you think about the Kreutzer Cartel's goals?
Well, one cannot really call them goals. The Kreutzer Cartel is a loose alliance of cutthroats and chicken thieves. Basically, the cartel is nothing more than an ordinary neighborhood. Well, ordinary for a city where for decades one could not be certain as to whether the ruler had again sent a bad dream or his own brother-in-law really turned to dust at the touch of sunlight. Without the urbane Mr. Parel Notgelf, these people would be a godsend for any kind of soul-catchers, demon-worshippers, priests, and gods know what else. Even if Parel wears the mantle of the free spirit like a feathered headdress, his aspirations are purely material. Basically, the cartel is not a good environment for a reputable scientist. On the other hand, it is sometimes quite useful to know the smugglers.
What do you think of Fergalosh and his people?
Fergalosh believes he represents law and order here. He competes with the Rondrians, which is logical considering the fact that he is paid by the Margrave. He considers me a troublemaker, and therefore wants me behind bars. It took a lot of convincing to barter him down to a house arrest. You said the truce is broken. Then it is logical that Fergalosh wants to have me brought in. He is afraid of my potential.
Come on.
But a free spirit cannot be constrained by any walls. You can be certain of that. Oh, for a free spirit there are no walls at all. Ergo, to me it does not matter one whit whether I'm at home or in the guards' headquarters.
Now, if it isn't
Do you know the Rondrian Folk of Aravor? Can you tell me anything about him?
Folk of Aravor? That's right, one of the Rondrians. I'd completely forgotten him. He is also far too worldly, far too libertarian.
You think he is a libertarian?
Infinitely libertarian. Infinitely. Unbelievable. He who knows no boundaries would simply burst. That alone makes him dangerous. Ha! And someone like that is the Metropolitan's deputy, while serious scientists are called heretics.
What heresies has he spread?
We once had a philosophical dispute. That in itself is remarkable for a Rondrian. What really frightened me was his detailed knowledge of blood magic and demonology. I would have expected a Borberadian to possess that knowledge, but not a priest of the goddess of war. Do not misunderstand me. Borberad was a demigod, and many of his teachings breathed the spirit of freedom. But ultimately his arrogance brought him and his disciples to fall. Interesting. The hubris dialogue as a transcendental problem. The dilemma of master and servant potentiated within arcane karmic interdependency. Conclusion, the man is suspicious. Do you have other questions?
Just come with me, Magus.
I do that which my will commands. Alric, Nandus's blessings upon you. How are the offspring?
Thank you. Well, how did you know?
How do I know your name? Nandus's ways are inscrutable, Alric. I also know your wife, Magic, you see?
My wife?
I hope the Magus will remain safe.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Parel will reward you richly. Right then, Magus, come with me.
See you soon, young man. Maybe I'll come over to visit.